Here are 25 small habits for hormone balance that I wish I knew 5 years ago before I started messing up my whole hormone system by trying to do everything right. Habit number 1, legs up the wall. This relaxing posture calms down the nervous system, meaning it reduces stress and with that supports hormone health, and it improves circulation because elevating your legs above heart level helps your blood and lymph flow back to your core. And while this legs up the wall pose is an official yoga pose called Viparita Karani, you can also just put your legs on pillows or a desk, anything that keeps your legs higher than your chest. Habit number 2, eat cruciferous veggies. Vegetables like broccoli or cauliflower or arugula help your liver process excess estrogen, which often causes a lot of different kinds of discomfort, and it helps to support overall hormone detox. But here it's important to not overdo these kind of veggies. Well, they are very healthy for numerous reasons. If you eat too much of them, they can cause digestive discomfort because they are pretty hard to digest. Except maybe arugula, that is actually pretty easy to digest. But for broccoli and cauliflower, try to listen to your body and not to overdo it. Habit number 3, have a morning taste of the ocean. Meaning add some sea salt to your morning water. A pinch of mineral-rich salt, like Celting or Himalayan salt, can support adrenal function, which is the place that produces cortisol, your body's stress hormone, and also having a little salt in your water helps with getting hydrated more efficient. This might sound a bit counterintuitive because you probably know that salt generally has a dehydrating effect, but if you add a little bit of salt, not too much salt, just a little bit of salt, high quality salt into your water, that can help retain the hydration better. And this is especially helpful when you're under a lot of stress or when you tend to wake up feeling very groggy. But just as a little disclaimer, if you do have high blood pressure, and your doctor told you to reduce your salt intake, maybe skip this one habit. Before you start eating, try to take 3 deep breaths. A teeny tiny small breathing exercise like this activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and through that it improves digestion, nutrient absorption, and it lowers cortisol, again your stress hormone. Another wonderful way and super easy way to lower your cortisol is to make use of essential oils, which not only help lower cortisol, but they can actually also help with estrogen balance. And I used to not really want to try this because I'm really sensitive when it comes to smells, and I think essential oils can very often not smell so good or too intense, but then I decided to try it out and I am really loving it and I can only recommend it. I have 2 different kinds of essential oils that I'm using right now. I have a little blend called Ground Me, which, I don't really like the smell of, to be honest, but whenever I smell at it, when I, open the bottle and smell it, it kind of calms me down, and I just do that throughout the day whenever I'm taking a little work break or something. And I do feel like it's made a big difference. And what's helping me even more is this little thing here. It's a Sleep Well spray, which is a mixture of lavender and some other oils. And I just spray that around my pillows in my bed whenever I'm getting ready to go to sleep. And it really helps my body to know now it's time to chill and get sleepy. And our brain is super sensitive to smell. You probably at some point experienced that feeling where you smell something and you were right back into a certain situation where you know that smell from. So using smell to condition your brain for whatever you want to condition it for example, to get sleepy and to calm down, to fall asleep quicker, is a really powerful little habit. And this also helps with going to bed at the same time every night. And I struggle with this still so much, but our bodies love rhythm, and consistent sleep, not only sleeping enough but also going to bed and waking up at around the same time, supports melatonin production, which is the hormone that makes you sleepy, growth hormone, cortisol, and even our reproductive hormones. And what helps a lot to help yourself to go to bed and to actually fall asleep at the same time every night is to have a consistent evening routine. And that can consist of whatever you like to do, whatever calms you down. And something that I started to include in my evening routine over the last couple of weeks, months, is after cleansing my face, before putting on my evening skincare, night skincare, I put on my LED face mask. I turn the red light on, and red light has so many calming effects on your mind. And the LED mask that I've been using is probably the best LED mask out there. It's the FAQ 202 by Ferrero, who are actually very kindly sponsoring today's video. I usually put on my mask when I'm done with everything for the day and my face is freshly cleansed, and while the mask is warming and rejuvenating my skin, I'll either read or do the dishes or just let my mind wander, whatever feels relaxing in the moment. And what I love about this is not only is it calming while I use it, but over time I've noticed that my skin looks a lot smoother and plumper and just overall more refreshed. And there's actually science behind this, because red light and near-infrared light are clinically proven to stimulate collagen production, improve skin elasticity, and support the skin's natural healing process. So I can only recommend adding a LED mask session with Ferrero's FAQ 202 into your evening routine to calm your mind down, to get ready to get sleepy. For 30% off almost all Ferrero products, use the link in my description and use my code HANNAM30. Thank you to Ferrero, and now let's move on to the next habit, which is washing your hands before you touch any food. I mean, obviously you should wash your hands before touching food because of germs and stuff, but even if you're at home and, for example, just used hand lotion and you think your hands are clean, no, they're not, because there's hand lotion on there and there's chemicals in that hand lotion, maybe even microplastics, which you do not want on your food, because they can act as endocrine disruptors, aka chemicals that disrupt your body's hormone system. Something that can also act as an endocrine disruptor is perfume, which is why you should consider switching to fragrance-free wherever possible. This includes things like lotion, shampoo, sunscreen, but also, for example, laundry detergent. And I totally get it. You think, but I like my, laundry smelling like, I don't know, a flower thing. But synthetic fragrances is a major source of hidden endocrine disruptors. And by reducing the amount of synthetic fragrances you consume through your skin every day, you can reduce estrogen mimicking chemicals on your skin every day. Eat breakfast within 60 minutes of waking up. If you're a woman, your body needs food in order to lower its cortisol levels, which are naturally high in the morning. But in order to not have cortisol levels that are too high, try to eat something within 60 minutes after waking. This not only helps with cortisol, but it also helps to keep your blood sugar stable, which is especially important for women with cycle and or thyroid issues. Spend more time around plants. The best thing to do is to go into nature. But even having more house plants in your room, in your place, in your office, wherever you spend a lot of your time, can significantly help reduce cortisol. Another way how you can reduce cortisol is by not working out hungry. If you've heard that working out hungry burns more fat, I'm begging you to get rid of that conception and to either eat a substantial meal 2 or 3 hours before your workout, or to have a snack about 30 minutes before your workout. Otherwise, your cortisol is gonna spike, and that in turn can be very detrimental to the way your body burns fat. And not only that, but also your whole hormone system. Another thing that can disrupt your whole hormone system is plastic, microplastics, which is why you should swap out plastics in your kitchen. So instead of plastic spatulas, use wooden ones or metal ones. Instead of plastic cutting boards, use wood or glass. And while we're in the kitchen, non-stick, non-likey. So-called PFAs or forever chemicals are very commonly used in non-stick cookware, like your Teflon pan. That makes making scrambled eggs a lot easier, I know, but it also can really significantly and detrimentally disrupt your hormone health. And also it's really shitty for the environment. Now you don't have to throw out all your kitchen things, just go one by one, but starting with your pan, which I'm guessing you use a lot, at least if you cook a lot, can make a huge difference by just swapping out that one little thing. Another source of endocrine disruptors that you might not know about is water-resistant clothing. Basically any type of plastic in your clothing. And nowadays it's kind of hard to find actual clothes made out of natural fabrics. And sometimes you just need your elastics, for example, in your workout clothes, but wherever possible, try to choose cotton or wool, any type of natural material over polyester or anything like that. Next, eat enough fats. Healthy fats is so important, and being scared of fats just because of their high calorie content is not gonna get you anywhere. Also in terms of fat loss, because when you don't eat enough fats, it's really hard to not overeat, because fats also help with feeling satiated, because that feeling of satiety of feeling full is produced by satiety hormones. But not only those hormones, also, for example, your reproductive hormones need enough healthy fats in order to function correctly. So it's advisable to eat between 0.5 and 1 gram of fat per kilo of body weight, which if you weigh 60 kilos or about 120 something pounds, equals between, let's say, 50 and 60 grams of fats every day. If you're anything like me and love coffee, that's fine, have your coffee, but do not have coffee on an empty stomach, because coffee raises your cortisol, even when you have food with it, even if it's later in the day, but especially in the morning when your cortisol is already high, and especially if you haven't eaten already, because like I said before, if you don't eat after waking up, within an hour after waking up, your cortisol is up here, and if you put caffeine on top of that, you don't want that. Speaking of morning, expose your eyes to 10 minutes of sunlight every morning, or at least on as many mornings as you can, because that helps with balancing your cortisol as well as your melatonin, which are two of the most significant hormones of your body's circadian rhythm. So they tell your body when to be awake and when to be sleepy. Obviously, this is best when it's combined with movement, so a little morning walk. But to be honest, I don't always do that. But what I try to do every morning is to at least stick my head out the window when I have my morning tea or something in my hand or my breakfast, and I just stare into the sky and let the sunlight signal my body that now it's morning. So if you have a window, you can do the same. If you have a balcony or a terrace, go outside. If you have neither, go downstairs and just stand there, or even better, walk a bit. Speaking of sunlight, try to sync with local sunlight when you travel. This again is very important for your circadian rhythm, and it minimizes cortisol disruption, and also it helps with jet lag. And a little side tip here, sunglasses help to block out this effect. So if you want to fake to your body that now it's actually nighttime even though it's sunlight outside, just wear sunglasses. Drink a glass of water after brushing your teeth every morning. Yes, also for hormone health, hydration is so important, especially in the morning, because your body is dehydrated from your night's sleep because you haven't been drinking for 8-ish hours. And even a mild dehydration can put a lot of stress on your adrenal glands, which again produces cortisol. And also dehydration can slow down the detox processes that influence estrogen balance. You might have heard by now that your gut health, or more specifically your microbiome, is incredibly important for many bodily functions, and this includes hormone health, which is why one habit that you should really adopt is to have at least one serving of fermented foods every day. And this does not have to be complicated. This can be just a bit of kimchi on your salad or your sandwich, or yogurt with live bacteria as a breakfast, or a little bit of kombucha if you like that. Only if you're histamine intolerant, this might not be the best idea. In this case, talk to your doctor for probiotic supplement recommendations. Speaking of snacking fermented foods, also try having nervous system snacks throughout the day, meaning do some little things throughout the day to calm down your nervous system. This can include mini meditations. It doesn't have to be a whole meditation, just sitting and breathing in and breathing out deeply for not even a minute, 10 seconds, 3 deep breaths, or simply lying down on your floor for a minute or maybe 5 minutes with no distraction. This can significantly reduce your cortisol levels, and it also supports progesterone production. Another thing that helps with progesterone production is magnesium-rich foods, especially when eaten in the evening. Magnesium is not only helpful for progesterone production, but it also helps with sleep and stress resilience. So maybe snack on some pumpkin seeds or dark chocolate or banana with almond butter in the evening, but don't overdo, especially the dark chocolate, because in dark chocolate there's also a good amount of caffeine, and you don't want to disrupt your sleep because you eat too much dark chocolate. Speaking of your evenings, try to block out any blue light in the evenings, ideally after sunset. One of the easiest and most necessary things you can do is, first, either don't look at any screen, but I'm guessing that you do. If you do, do it. But turn out the blue light filter that is nowadays, I guess, in every device, and make that light coming out your screen as warm as possible. Or get orange tinted glasses, which kind of makes everything more red/oranges and less blue. This helps melatonin production and improves sleep quality. Something that helped me so much to balance my hormones back to normal again is something called adaptogens, which are supplements that help your body adapt to stressful situations. For example, ashwagandha in the evening or rhodiola rosea in the morning. But as with every supplement, before starting to take this, please consult a doctor. Ashwagandha, for example, might also be harmful for your liver if you overdo it, so just be careful. And get high quality, clean products only. One of the best things you can do to help your body regulate insulin, reduce stress hormones, and improve thyroid function is to move regularly, even if that's just gentle movement like walking or stretching. Just if you're having actual big issues with your hormones, especially with your reproductive hormones as a woman, be careful with high intensity training, because that can disrupt your hormone health even more. Because while strength training and even cardio and interval training can be incredibly beneficial for your health, these type of workouts also mean a lot of stress for your body, and they in the moment raise your cortisol levels, which is fine if you're overall healthy. But if your hormone system is already out of balance, you might want to pause the high intensity training for a while. Something else that means a lot of stress on your body is when you don't eat enough, which is why you should please never undereat. Undereating can disrupt your whole hormone health. Basically, any hormone is connected to having enough energy in your body. And if you undereat, your body has energy deficiency, and you do not want that. If you want to lose fat, that's totally fine, but please do it gently and do it slowly. I know it's hard to be impatient sometimes, especially if you want to get snatched for summer, but harsh calorie restrictions will mess up your hormones. And with that, also how your body looks in the long term. So nutrition and exercise can have a huge impact on especially female hormone health. And the research on female health and wellness is still not as existent as it should be, but Dr. Stacy Sims is someone who is trying to improve that. And in this video, I talk about what Dr. Stacy Sims, who is the expert for female fitness and nutrition, says that we as women should do differently than men. So I really recommend you to watch that one if you haven't already. If you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. That really helps me out a lot. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.